Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crew SMP. Now, this is about to be a whole thing because now we've got to do a bartering farm in order to get quartz and other goodies for us to use later. But the problem with that is I have to get piglins to the roof and I have to get them over here next to the gold farm so that one day I can eventually, you know, just take the gold, go ahead and make it into ingots and then transport it down here so I can just auto do a lot of this. But that's besides the point. A quick sip of my drink because this is going to be a whole explanation. Okay, we have to get the piglins, we have to name tag them, and we have to put them inside the actual farm. Now I have enough materials to do 4 different cells of this farm. This farm, in fact, is kind of compact. It's tiny. And I can see myself changing how it functions later. Right now, we are going to build the most basic of cells because I don't need the farm to be very large. I am right here underneath the gold farm. You can see it right there. And this is kind of the area where I want to be putting the farm. Now, each one of these cells starts with, like, just a chest on the bottom of them. If I am correct, yeah. Then hoppers and carpet. Hopper there, and carpet. And of course, all of my farms have the patented purple carpet to signify this is one of my farms. Okay, I'm looking at a picture. I'm using Shulkercraft again, just for the most basic of farms. There. 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 Okay. I do have these name tagged subject. There is a reason for that. They have to be name tagged in order for you to get them in here. So I'm doing 1 piglin per cell. You can increase this by doing more piglins, but I don't have enough emeralds to get that many name tags. So I'm just going to set up the 4 different cells. And if I want to later on, I can easily get more piglins and just push them into here. But that's going to be a whole thing for later me. This is the basic version of this farm where I now need to get piglins in here. This is the reason I have the dirt. Is so that I can get them in here. This is also the same reason I have the buttons, is to keep random stuff from spawning. Because it can't spawn on glass, but it can spawn on all these other random blocks. Including this, which is about to be picked up. There. Now, I'm only going to name tag these 1 at a time, and we need to go over to a Crimson Forest biome, which is the best spawn location for these guys. Which is over here. I think it's over here. Am I in the right spot? No. A little bit further forward. Okay, now am I in it? Yes. Okay. Here, you want to kind of throw in some nylium. Now, this does have a chance to spawn the pigs. But I am less worried about the pig spawning and more worried about piglin spawning, so I am not that worried. There we go. There we go. He's in there. I'm covered in arrows, but he's in there. I could have done this so much better, but you know, it's fine. rid of all this extra stuff that I didn't want up there to begin with. Okay, now I need you there. You can keep firing, I don't care. Not there. This is where I need the temporary blocks. Okay. Why are we like this? I ever said how much I dislike redstone machinery purely for the fact of it's such a pain to set up? There we go. There we go. Now he is fully encased. He is fine. He is safe. It's a great day for you, my guy. Yeah, it really is. Congratulations. Okay, so I definitely did this properly. Okay, what I need is the piglins, and preferably not the baby one. Okay. And the good thing about a Crimson Forest biome is that ghast can't spawn there. Yeah, grab that. Get in. Okay. There we go. I have succeeded! I know the success doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but, you know, I am proud of myself, and that's all that matters. Okay. A pressure plate has to go on top of this. I don't know how on earth I got an obsidian. But pressure plate goes on top of that. And a dropper and glass block go around it. So we're gonna quickly do this. Just corner off the front of the farm. And then a redstone torch and a dropper go back here. So, redstone torch. And then that's not how that goes. Still not how that goes. I need to aim towards the front. Oh my god. It's stuff like this that makes me so irked whenever I'm putting farms and stuff together. Because I don't know how exactly they want me facing these items. There we go. Good heavens. There we go. And the top of this has to be covered in glass again. Okay, that has to remain open. But the rest of this can kind of be just closed off. Yeah. Because a button has to go there. Which is a whole nother reason why I brought the buttons. Okay, and then this has a hopper and then a double chest going into this. So if I were to say throw the gold in here. Okay, or not. You can be aggro all you want to. Okay, now put gold in here. No. You can be angry all you want to be. Oh wait, I have to put the gold in it and then activate the machine. I'm be angry. I don't care. And then if I press this, that was just a few bits. And that did give me, hey. Okay, that gives me gravel. That's actually very useful. And iron nuggets. Okay, but I also did get some nether quartz out of this, which is good. Which is exactly what I'm trying to go for. Okay, so that is the finished cell. Now, I'm just going to do a few of these back to back. I'm going to do another one over this way, and then I'm going to face it this direction, then I'm going to do a few more this direction. is my plan. After this, I am going to AFK the gold farm for like around about an hour. Try to get up as much gold as I can, and then go ahead and let this bartering farm go for about an hour. To try and let them get as much as they possibly can out of all of this. Also, this one's still going through a buttload of gold, so how's this looking? Hey, 46 quartz, 35 quartz. It's not the fastest quartz farm, but it is renewable. That is my main concern. You know what? I'm actually probably going to do these last 2 cells off camera and then do the AFK that I was told you guys about. Just so I can more so focus on this and like vibe and do whatever. Because this footage has already been around about an hour just of me putting the farms together just for those first 2 cells. And I've still got to do 2 more. So it's going to be about another hour. And then I want to AFK for an hour. So I will come back once I actually have those farms and everything in place. Okay. Now it's been about a day or so. I did do the AFK test, like I told you guys. I did end up getting a bunch of gold from the actual gold farm and then putting it into these. You can see we have a lot of stuff. I've already picked the quartz up out of here. It came to about 4.5 stacks of quartz, and that was only from, I think, a stack of gold in each. So, pretty good farm. I'm definitely going to have to AFK that a bit more. But we have a bunch of blackstone and stuff like that. And gravel. But that is not the only thing that's happened in between episodes. In between episodes, I've also done a stream. Now, if you were at the stream or you watched it afterwards, you would know that the stream, for whatever reason, was not letting me connect to the server. I couldn't stay on the server for whatever particular reason. It just was not working. Back through. I finished off this tree. So the tree at the front, the 3 trees at the front of my base are now done. All 3 of these are done. That one is started, and I've started the one in the back over here. Well, 2 of them actually. Gotten that one, and that's the tree that I couldn't finish because for whatever reason I kept disconnecting from the server. So that is only half finished. But I do have these 2. The limbs are fully calculated out. I just have to throw leaves on them. But this was not the only thing we worked on stream. On stream, I decided that I was going to go into a creative world and work on something a bit of a bigger project. But I needed a block palette and ideas for what I wanted to do. Now, these are some of the ideas we came up with. Had some people in the stream. I had the original block palettes kind of figured out. And then they've added on the glass, putting the glow lichen as a blend between these 2. The exposed copper as another tone of green to add into it. So that we would also have trapdoors to really frame in the main portal. Now, what is this for? It's going to be for the nether hub. Now, the whole idea around the nether hub is big tree in the center and essentially just a very big, lush library all around it. But the tree in the center is dead. And the center tree is the starter village. So it does, in fact, have its portal right here. It's a little bit on the bigger side for a portal. Actually, I think it's just like 1 block bigger than normal. But that's the portal. And then I also have a back entrance over here, which hasn't been textured or anything. I haven't really done anything on the back of this. But this is going to be the drop down into the actual nether. But this was what we also did on stream, was to try and figure out how I wanted to, what block palettes I wanted to use and things of that nature, so I could start getting together blocks for this. Now, I chose blackstone as the walkways specifically because I have a lot of blackstone now. The only problem I'll have is getting gilded blackstone. That's really the only problem I'll have. But I can work on that because we know where a few bastions are, and I can probably go into those bastions and just kind of look specifically for gilded blackstone. And then this was my take on a little bit of a desk area, because we do have the sit mod in this, so these desks are actually usable, and we can keep lore-based things in the nether just around if we want to. And then we also have plans for mushrooms, like these are the fungal growths that are actually killing the tree, and would add a bit more color because the tree otherwise is very much gray toned. So that is the idea. And that's the other thing we built on stream. But with the Piglin Bartering farm now in place and a few of the trees done, as well as a design for the nether hub, I think I'll have to call that video complete. Now, next week there is going to be another very special video coming out that's going to include a lot more of the members of the crew SMP. So I hope you guys can catch it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.